can kind of understand why this has been called Update 24.8, which is of course bringing one real change to the arbitration missions, which are special alerts that tend to be, you know, you can tell, level 60 to 80, so they're not really that easy. Oh, that's actually a pretty good one. Actually, with Limbo, could be a pretty easy one to do. May have to jump in and try that one out. But during these missions, if you get knocked down, there is no bleed out, you're dead. What they have done, and I'm going to say this before looking anywhere or at comments or anything like that, they've added Apex Legends to it. There is now a, well, it's basically the oxygen sensor, and you can go to it and revive allies. Because once somebody goes down, there will be these drones that begin to drop unique pickups known as Resurgence Burden. You pick those up and you can use them to revive allies. But this is limited, because as it says, in order to revive a player, 5 of these must be delivered to the tower. It's all at once or nothing. So everybody who, you can pick them up as a team. Somebody can have 2, somebody else can have 2, somebody can have 1, that's the 5. You, all 3 of you will have to go to the tower, because it takes all 5, and it literally says it's all or nothing to get these towers to revive your allies. What it doesn't state is, well, if you revive somebody, or if you are the last one left, is it 5 per ally you have to revive? I'm going to guess that it is, making it much harder, which is where defense, the Corpus defense on Pluto, on Outer Terminus, I used to love that thing, and when it was special alerts and it did end up level 60 or so, it was great. If only I had some kind of defensive frame. Oh look, there's one in the right side of the screen that I always tend to be wearing. There is also Rivens and new rewards available from, if you go to pretty much any relay. This is the center hall of the relay. It's usually on the right, even though I stupidly went to the left and have run all the way around to find this. Go to the Arbiters of Hexus and speak to the Arbitrations Honors. I thought this guy had an actual name. Turns out, no. There is new things in here. Mainly this. Archgun Rivens mods. I know a lot of people have said this is just weird, it's unnecessary. I've been playing quite a bit with arc guns. I've been forming ones I've wanted to work on for ages, and no matter what I do, I'm putting mods in there that are completely useless, because there's just not enough mods for Archwings. So that, I'm actually looking forward to grabbing some, and we'll start to play the arbitrations to get some. There are also, I want that so badly, weapon skins. There is the AMPREX, TELOS skin, just kind of makes it blue. There is the ATOMOS one that actually looks much nicer, and the ATTERAX TELOS skin, and I really wish we could control the rate at which these turn round, because now it comes into view, it zooms out, so you can't really see that well. But there are 3 new skins that have been added in here for Fashion Frame. I still think that looks pretty cool. I would go for these, but I am one of those people who didn't really play a lot of the arbitration stuff. I wanted to so much, but I got distracted with other things and honestly forgot about it until the ephemera stuff turned up. And I mean, just, that is a lovely effect. And of course, with it being inside of here, you have to play the arbitration missions to get these, which includes powered, wow. These are the same mods that were here last time. Minus self damage, minus total damage, and that one minus ability strength, which of course helps with speed nova. I completely forgot that was a thing. Oh, okay, in my defense, arbitration is 6 months old at this point, and I probably haven't touched it in 5.5 months. I did a whole thing about it, and I actually think that's still sitting in my to-do folder. I may have recently deleted it because it was stupidly out of date and I want this so badly. It just sucks that you need the Vitus Essence to buy these things, otherwise I would have these already. Mainly these. Actually, I lie. I'll still probably go for the bleeding body over the... Nope, Archgun Rivens. Remembering that if you do decide to kill yourself near the midpoint of a defense, it lasts for 10 waves, so if you kill yourself about wave 15, you're probably not going to get revived by the end of those that round, because it's 10 waves per round, simply because I don't think these things drop enough. I could see one of these going around my allies who had it before I actually died. I should actually mention that part as well. But you don't get the reward if you are actually dead at the end of that, so I basically went from 14 to 15 Vitus Essence for 20 waves of... Well, technically 15, I think it was either 14 or 15. Could have been 16. It was around the midpoint, I can't remember exactly where. It was probably, actually, yeah, it was probably in the actual footage. It could have been 12. I don't think it was quite that early. But anyway, there is also an emote for this, the Vitus Illumina emote. Works just like the TennoCon 2019. They did actually fix the TennoCon 2019 emote. You don't just stand there and stop moving, there is movement in the frame now, kind of like Excalibur here, who is bobbing up and down because it's the meditation emote with a giant glyph type thing that appears. One of the easiest things to actually overlook, and I will just quickly flash it on the screen, is the Aura Forma. It was actually called the Omega Forma when it appeared with the, what was it, the Umbra Forma when they were first leaked. It's actually got a name and it is here, and it's the Aura Forma. The blueprint for this will drop. It's actually, thanks to Alexis, I think was the correct name, probably butchered that, for posting this red text, because I would have missed this otherwise. I would like completely miss the fact that this Forma was added. It drops from random enemies, so you have a chance of this dropping from arbitrations, meaning going there is even slightly better than it was before. Because if you're running a normal frame with pretty much any build on, I'm now also realizing that the mod I want for this is not there, it is. You can get a max of 74 from your mod capacity unless you have a V, and then you can throw a steel charge in and get a maximum of 78. So let's say you have a frame, you have 74 points, you don't want to throw another 2 or 3 Forma in to be able to get those 4 extra points, because trust me, it can happen. I had to once Forma 3 times to get just enough points to build a frame, and that third Forma was, I never wanted to play that frame again after that, because it gets really annoying leveling up all the time. You could just throw a steel charge in. From any of them, you can run enemy radar, it'll still give you the added bonus, loot radar, it will run any mod polarity will go in it. It's going to add a universal aura to any frame you put this on, but it does take 4 Forma to build the thing. Actually looking forward to getting a hold of one of those, because that could be ridiculously useful for so many different frames where I have that exact problem. I need 1 extra point and I'm not going to spend another Forma and another forever trying to level it up to forget what I even did it for in the first place, when I can just swap the aura to something else and run a better build for a mission or two and usually forget about them and leave that aura on there, because I have no idea what auras are on any of my frames. Whatever fits in that polarity, really. Which is a shame, because I would love to have them all running what I want to run. Not to mention, of course, with this they have fixed that whole issue with the invisibility messing up when you jump into your operator, which can go invisible anyway, and then when you come out of it you're not invisible anymore with your frame. It has been fixed. There is a few other things that have been fixed, but the main part of this was the Arbitration Iteration 1 changes. This is the first round of changes they are going to make. There may be more to actually come. They've literally called this Iteration 1, and it will bring the revival thing. fingers crossed the second one will bring more than one Vitus Essence, because that's just complete madness. I mean, if it gives you 10, that would be overkill, but I don't know, maybe it should be affected by the double resource booster, and I'm only saying that because I have one active, and that means I would have got 2, and I would have twice as much as I have, which means I could have picked up that Riven and been unlocking it right now. Oh, the challenges on those Rivens could be catastrophically bad if it's all Archwing based. That could actually be really bad. But anyway, this has gone on longer than I was expecting, so we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time!